There's a spiritual war that is taking place right now on planet Earth, and it's a war on spirituality and soul itself. And it's a war that a lot of people aren't aware that it's happening, because it's happening in this spiritual dimension, in the spiritual plane. And it's very important that you understand what's happening and what you can do about it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 quick and easy ways to prepare for the spiritual war that is taking place. Make sure you hit the like button on this side right over there and this side right over there. If you enjoy this content, leave a comment down below and let's dive right in. So the first thing to know is that you have to put your attention on your true self. We're living in a hyper-polarized world right now, where the media and the institutional machines are doing the best that they can to keep people in a state of hyper-reaction, in a state of hyper-emotional sensitivity and reaction. What happens then is that people get stuck in the third dimension. They get stuck in themselves being a physical body, which of course isn't true anyways. And the ruling elites of this world have always known this, that everything is energy. Reality is the result of perception and consciousness. And if you can control mass perception, you control humanity. And so there's a spiritual war taking place, in that everything is designed to keep you away from yourself as spirit. And so step number 1 is very important, because you have to bring your awareness to your true self. You are a spiritual being in a physical body, not the other way around. You are a spiritual being in a physical body. So you can comment that down below. And what I invite you to do is bring your attention to your true self. And when you bring your attention to your true self, all things are possible. You're no longer in a state of reaction to the outside events of the world, and you reclaim the power to transform your own life. Step number 2 is to focus upon the qualities of spirit. What are the qualities of soul? What are the qualities of spirit? It's love. It's creation rather than reaction. So that means that you might not be in a good financial position right now. Your friend might have lost their job. You might have lost your job. You might be struggling with debt. You might just be struggling with feeling depressed and isolated. Depression is an all-time high right now in America. We have alcohol and substance abuse at an all-time high right now in America. And there's just an overall, I've never seen so much division in my entire life. And so the way that is perpetuated is because the more and more we take infinite consciousness and solely focus on the limited physical self as body, this is 1% of who you are. Right here, you think this is me. You're like, hey, I'm watching Jake Ducey's video. I hate to break it to you, but this isn't Jake Ducey. Jake Ducey is, first of all, it's just a word. Second of all, this is not Jake Ducey. From right here down to my toes is not Jake Ducey. It's a rental car that Jake Ducey is using to have a physical experience. It is a rental car that my soul is using. What are the qualities and characteristics of soul? And when we get back to the true qualities and characteristics of soul, we get back to our destiny. And we get back to our true self. We get back to the essence of the question of what is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What is this all about? Love, spiritual freedom, exciting. What does that mean? It means creating an exciting life. I sometimes talk about money on these videos, and it's amazing to me the amount of people that have such a poor relationship with money. And they'll comment and they'll say, like, that I'm like satanic because, or I'm like, I'm misleading the masses because I say that you can attract money into your life. Well, first of all, it's paper. It's all it is. It's just paper. Second of all, it's just energy. And what is everything comes from one originating source of energy. That's God. So money technically is God, and God is money. God is you, and you are God. It's in everything. Thirdly, I'm not telling people to accumulate paper for the sake of accumulating paper. I'm saying use it to live the life you want, to donate to your church, to build that cool yoga studio, to have your favorite shoes, to live in your dream home, to put your kids in the best school you can put them, to afford expensive health insurance. All of these things, they cost money. They do. Duh. And like people are, no, you shouldn't. And it's funny because at the core, I responded to someone the other day and I said, don't you think God wants you to experience all of God's creation? Yes, that's exciting. That's what this is about. Being excited about life. And if God wants you to experience God's creation, and your favorite thing to do is hike in the Himalayas, expensive to do that, by the way, or your favorite thing is to take care of your kids, which means nice clothes, nice opportunities, nice college, nice healthcare, expensive. So don't you think God wants you to have money so that you can experience more of the things that are exciting and fulfilling and help you fulfill your unique purpose and mission in life? Whether it's helping kids in Africa get clean water, which is expensive, or you just care about raising your kids and raising awesome kids, which is expensive, or you really like cars. That's your favorite thing in the world, and it's a car hobby. I'm not a car fanatic, but I gotta imagine that would be an expensive hobby. And you love it because you love the cold breeze on your face on your convertible in the middle of the German countryside, and it makes you feel one with God because you feel this cold breeze with your warm seat heater, and you're like, I love you, God, this is amazing. And that's how you're a better person, right? That's what makes you a better person. So what I'm saying here is, what are the qualities of God? Forget about all these limits. Forget about all this crap and get to the core. That it's about you creating a life you love, you giving love to other people, you living an exciting life and possessing, experiencing, and doing all the things that make you come alive, no matter how much money they cost. That if you live from spirit and you don't get distracted by the negativity of the world, you can have the success and the achievement and the financial freedom you need to live that life and to help other people do it as well. So ask yourself, what are the qualities of your true self, and how can you embody them more in your life right now? And when you bring your attention that way, that's what pulls you out of the matrix. That is where the spiritual war is taking place. When you pull yourself out of the mind matrix and the attachment to the physical senses and the attachment to the shoulds and shouldn'ts and can'ts and the wrongs and the rights, if you move beyond that, like Rumi, the famous poet, said, there's a field beyond right and wrong. I will meet you there. That field is infinite consciousness, and that is your true self. And it's surrounded, encapsulated, and totally engulfed in love, freedom, happiness, joy, wealth, abundance. And it has your name on it. But you must bring your attention away from this gilded stage, as Shakespeare calls it. All of life is a gilded stage where the dramas of life play themselves out. And you detach from that gilded stage, you conquer the spiritual war because you've awakened to your true self. And last but not least, you have to let go of the things that you can't control. The spiritual war continues to basically rob people of their spiritual freedom, because it gets them habitually trapped to trying to get worked up about things they can't control. To change, whether it's to change other people, make other people think the same way as us, whether it's something somebody did or something that happened that we can't control, and then we get really worked up about it, and then it traps us in the emotional realm of the matrix. And when you're trapped in the emotional realm of the matrix, that's how divide and rule of civilizations have always controlled people. And the question that I think is worth asking is this worth losing my peace over? Is this worth losing my peace over? Is it? Is this right here worth losing my peace over? Knowing the fact that life expectancy is, I don't know, 70, 80 years old. All of our bodies will one day no longer be working, to say the least. Our spirits will live on forever. We're spiritual beings in physical body. We're infinite, but one day our bodies will move on. Knowing this temporal nature of life, the temporary truth of life, is this right here worth losing my peace over? Is that right there losing my peace over? And every time we're able to catch ourselves in that, what we're really doing is bringing our attention back to the qualities of soul, which is freedom, which is love, which is peace, which is abundance, but at the core it's freedom. So every time we do that, is this worth losing my peace over? It brings us back to soul. It brings us out of our animalistic, reactionary self that is controlled in the spiritual warfare. It brings us out of that, and it brings us back into soul. And if we can get these small victories all day long, is that worth losing my peace over? Is that worth losing my peace over? Is that worth losing my peace over? Then what happens is we're free. We win. And our energy changes. And it adds to the collective energy field, which basically you become like a light warrior, because we're all one. We're all part of think of this like a giant energy orb, humanity. That's the collective consciousness. And everyone's aiding to it in negative or positive ways. And when a bunch of people are aiding to it in negative ways, it makes it more contagious on a subconscious level. So we all get trapped in this emotional, reactionary, animalistic, spiritual war. But when one of us, like you, breaks out of it, is this worth losing my peace over? And you follow the other steps and you stay connected to the qualities of soul, and you remind yourself, I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. And your consciousness raises to a heightened level. It only takes a couple people. I mean, imagine if there was, there was like one Jesus, there was like one Gandhi. Imagine if there's 1,000 of us with that type of consciousness, knowing our true self, or 1,000,000 of us, or 10 million. We just keep shifting the collective consciousness. And as you do this work, you help basically fight the spiritual war by no longer existing in it, right? Mother Teresa was asked to go to an anti-war rally, and she said, no, let me know when you have a pro-peace one. And similarly, you stop fighting the spiritual war when you tap into this, and by no longer fighting it, because your consciousness is raised above it, because you recognize that we're in this world but not of it, you make it easier for other people to come to the same level of spiritual awakening as well. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button right over there on this side, right over there on this side. Also hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified for new videos. Leave a comment down below that says, I'm a spiritual being in a physical body. Comment maybe where in the world you're coming from, what city, state, country. I'd love to know where in the world you're coming from, and we can start to build that new collective consciousness. So leave a comment down below. If you haven't yet, check out my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. I made a free success hypnosis to start to reprogram my subconscious mind to change my life. And you can check that out. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com, right there down below for free, to start eliminating some of those limiting belief societies programmed into us. So have a great day. See you next time.